What exactly is going on with investment properties, especially apartment-style condos? Well, the Coles Notes version is simple. It's all about cap rates. They're not where they need to be. I'm going to tell you about that and bring you lots of other real estate news starting right now. This is KW Real Estate News and Views for the week of September 22nd. I want to talk to you today about cap rates and investment properties and what's going on in that space. First off, what's a cap rate? Well, cap rate is short for capitalization rate, and it's simply your net operating income divided by what you paid for the property. Now, a healthy cap rate is typically defined as anything between 5 and 10%. We haven't seen numbers like that in over a decade. Instead, the investment community has been banking on the annual appreciation we've been seeing in our market since 2015. If you're getting 15, 20% a year return because your property's gone up, your property price has gone up in value, well, that makes sense as an investment. Now, looking at how the market's changed since 2022, those numbers aren't working anymore. Apartment-style condos in particular are flat to declining for the past 15 months. And when that happens, your cap rates all of a sudden really start to matter. So here's a real world example for you. Right now, just this week, sold a 1-bedroom, downtown Kitchener, 5-year-old building. It has a parking spot, which is a nice plus. That's sold for $365,000. Now, you should be able to rent that out no problem for $1,800 a month. You've got expenses of $3,029 a year for property taxes, and then condo fees of $484 a month. These really, in these kind of buildings, these are your only expenses because your tenant is paying for utilities. So you look at your numbers, you crunch your numbers, your rental income offset by paying those taxes and condo fees, that leaves you with $12,800 a year of net operating income. Divide that by $365K, and you're looking at 3.5% as your cap rate. Well, that's not even close to 5%. Now that's for a cash purchase, paying full cash, $365,000. If you're financing that purchase, say for example, you put $150 down and then the rest is on a mortgage, you're actually underwater right from the get-go. You can't bring in enough money in rent to offset your mortgage payments, your taxes, and your condo fees. And that's here, long and short of it, why people are leaving that space, because it doesn't work anymore as an investment vehicle. Now, moving on to other real estate news. I get Real Estate Magazine to my inbox every week. It's an industry publication. There was an article in the magazine about August being a busy month for real estate across the country, and while that's not true locally, it is certainly true on a national level, and this article talks about that. Some people were wondering, and the author posits this, has the market turned? Has this pickup in sales mean the market's turned and we're going to get busy again? Well, he didn't think so because of exactly what he had said. There's more inventory on market than there was before. I can tell you anecdotally, we're seeing the same thing here in Waterloo region. I pulled data the other day. Our prices have held flat, and in the case of detached, we're actually slightly up compared to August. But there's lots of properties for sale, and the author of the Real Estate Magazine article was saying that higher inventory puts downward pressure on prices, and I would say that's true here as well. We've got lots of stuff for sale. People want to sell, and at some point, the ones that are desperate will take a decrease in price. And so we are seeing price reductions. Now, that leads into my next thing I want to talk about today. I've got lots of buyers who've been waiting in the wings. They've been waiting for this kind of more negative news to strike and get a property at a discount. There is all kinds of stuff. If you're patient, you know what you're looking for, you can pick up deals in every single segment. Now, if you want to do that, make sure you check out my listings feed. I've got 2,000 listings right now in Waterloo region up on my website. It's super easy to book a showing. Hit the big button at the top of the listing. I'll get it booked for you. I'll get in touch and we can go have a look. Other real estate news. Waterloo region had their 2025 progress report came out. Not a year in review, kind of a state of the nation, state of the region they called it. And it was titled Getting a Million Ready. And what Karen Redmond, the regional chair, was talking about was getting the region ready for 1 million residents. Now, right now we're sitting at about 680,000 people, and I don't doubt in the next 15 or 20 years we're going to crest 1 million people. And Chair Redmond says we've got to have the infrastructure in place to support that population growth. I fully agree. I'm going to give you a breakdown quickly of what she talked about. Talked about one, getting the Kitchener Transit Hub finished. It's currently being halted because of a court injunction with the homeless encampment on the corner of Weber and Victoria. At some point, that's going to get lifted. They'll find a solution to some degree with the homeless people, and they'll get that built. More transit news related to that. They're talking about doing a GO station in Breslau, which to me was kind of a surprise. It's a tiny little hamlet, as you know, bedroom community for Kitchener-Waterloo, but the tracks do run through there. So they're talking about GO in Breslau, and there's also a bunch of lands slated for affordable homes, and that ties into the homeless thing I was just mentioning earlier. This is a good thing. I know the federal government is $13 billion into building affordable housing, just announced last week, and Kitchener-Waterloo might be tied into that a little bit with this announcement from the chair. That's good news. Other things she had happened to mention, talking about a mega fund for building sustainable growth and jobs. Certainly the region's got all kinds of land parceled off for industrial development. We need that. Kitchener-Waterloo and Cambridge have a heavy manufacturing base. We've got to support that. Industries need a place to grow and do business. Other things she talked about, phase 2 of the ION. Now, Cambridge has been salty about that. Phase 1 was just Kitchener and Waterloo. They saw a huge economic benefit from the ION being built. And now it's Cambridge's turn. The chair had said, yeah, we're going to get this done for Cambridge as well. It's long overdue. ION's been a great thing for Kitchener-Waterloo, and it's going to be a great thing for Cambridge as well. Other things to talk about. Alternative healthcare delivery methods to take pressure off the emergency room. And right now, wait times are simply unacceptable. And they're talking about different ways of delivering healthcare, including building a new hospital. And if we're going to have 1 million people living here, this is really, really necessary. That was super good news to hear that they're planning on doing that. Last thing that the chair talked about was the airport of all things, but I'm a bit of a plane buff, so my ears perked up when she started talking about it. The east-west main runway, they lengthened that a number of years ago. We've got big jets every day coming and going from the airport. It's now an international airport. It's owned by the region. This has been a positive for people coming and going, for the business community. It's been a really good thing. And now they're talking about making the other runway, the north-south one, longer as well. Certainly they need that for the big jets. Operationally, weather comes and goes, and they can't always use that main runway. So this is a good thing. And the chair talked about how much these big projects like doing the ION, expanding the airport, how good they've been for the regional economy. I completely agree, and I would look as well at Conestoga Parkway, what a huge change that was for Kitchener-Waterloo. If you drive in London, it's just terrible. They don't have downtown. They don't have what we've got as far as the expressway, and traffic is not fun in London. And in Kitchener-Waterloo, it's great. So my point about this was the region, and the chair was talking about having vision going forward. And they've got to do that. They've got to do these infrastructure projects to make the area desirable for business, desirable for people to come and live. And it was a very positive message from the region as far as the 2025 plans for the future. Just wanted to finish up with one other thing. If you're looking at buying in Kitchener-Waterloo, make sure you check out my neighborhoods pages. I've got all 59 of them covered. I've got videos for each one, photos, property types, ages, schools, groceries, everything you need to know about the neighborhoods. If you're looking at shopping in Kitchener-Waterloo, check those out first. I'll make sure everything I talked about today, I'm going to put links below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourself a fantastic day.